Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the collaboration between Truthear and Crinacle. These are the Zero Red dual dynamic driver inner monitors. Now, Crinacle, he was teasing these on Twitter a couple of months ago. He kept calling them Project Red. So essentially, these IEMs are a retune of the OG Truthear Crinacle Zero. Now, most of what I'll be discussing in this video will be familiar, especially the build quality and the shape and the setup tip, getting the same Truthear cable, the same dynamic drivers inside. But speaking of which, let me get you with those tech specs. Now, let's do a quick unboxing and show you what you get with the Zero Red. You got the carrot on the sleeve here. Take the sleeve off, and you got the cardboard lid that's held together by air suction. You got Zero Red on the top. Here's Carrot again in one of her numerous outfits. And in this sleeve, you have the cardboard stand. You have two sets of the mesh filters for the nozzle, and you have some, quality control and a warranty card. And you have the IEMs themselves, red color. You also get the same leather pouch that's fastened with snap pins. And you get multiple sets of silicone tips, and you get medium memory foam tips. Now I'm going to leave those out to the side because I'm going to talk about those a little further in the fit and comfort section of the video. Inside the leather pouch, you get the cable, the same as the OG Truthear Zero, and you get a nice addition with the Zero Red. You get this 10 ohm adapter. It's to boost up the bass. I'll be talking about that a little further. Let's go ahead and get all the contents out of the way, and let's talk about the comfort. Now, the shells on the Zero Red are the exact same size as the blue OG Zero. The medium foam tip, for me, just like on the OG Zero, gave me some ear fatigue. I keep forgetting that memory foam, it expands. If they're medium, they're gonna feel a lot. They're gonna feel a lot more cramped in my ear canals than say small. So maybe I should get some small silicone tips. I like the shape of them. They remind me of those little gummy candies you get for Halloween. The dot. This is a good shape. Just hurts my ears. Now the ones that work best with the Zero Red would be either the narrow bore small silicone tips or the wide bore silicone tips. I did use medium, and I didn't like the way they feel because, you still got that long nozzle on it. But, your mileage may vary. I have been using the SpinFit CP100 Plus, but because of the nozzle or the neck of the nozzle is really long, I'm going to have to give the comfort on these and the fit a 2 out of 5 again. I mean, these are not for everybody. It's just a lot of fit. So you got on one end of the spectrum, you got the blonde BL03, which had a short nozzle, and it caused a lot of fit issues. And then you got these on the other end, which have a long neck and a wider nozzle, and these are cause ear fatigue. You can't wear them for too long. But with the small tip, I can wear them in my sleep and wake up with no discomfort whatsoever. So how do you drive the Zero Red? Now, they're not really hard to drive by themselves with the cable, and nor did I have any issues running them through my hip DAC. Now, keep in mind, when you use the 10 ohm bass boost adapter, you're going to need the hip DAC. But although it's going to be a little cumbersome using this when it comes to portability, matter of fact, I only use this when I'm in the crib or in the house. This is not one of those portable, stow and go type of gear sets. If I had like a smaller DAC, maybe, I think I might buy that Truthear Shishio. Hell, I might as well. I done got the Truthear, the Ola, the Zero Red. Might as well go ahead and get the whole set and then, finish it off with the Truthear Hexa. But yeah, you're going to need something like this if you're going to use the 10 ohm adapter, because you're going to need more volume for your source. So you're going to need a lot more power when you use this. Now, if you use it without the 10 ohm adapter, You can use a smartphone, you can use a laptop, you can use a tablet, PC, whatever. And also, if you do use a hip DAC or any type of amplifier, it will bring out the dynamics of the sound with the zero red. So drivability, it's versatile, and if you have like a smaller amp or DAC, it'll be a whole lot better. So I'm gonna give the drivability on the zero red a 5 out of 5. Now, moving on to the sound quality, because this is the part of the video that I really wanted to talk about. Now, I mentioned earlier in the intro that the Zero Red are a retune of the OG Zero, and this set is tuned to Crinacle's own inner fidelity neutral target response curve, which means the bass, it gets deep, especially the sub bass. The mid-range, it isn't that forward, and the highs, they aren't harsh or metallic sounding. So allow me to elaborate a little further. So like the original Truthear Zero that I got here, the Zero Red uses a 10mm dynamic driver for the low end, and that's for the sub bass and the mid bass, and it uses a 7.8mm dynamic driver for the mid-range and the treble. Now, Crinacle said that the crossover was overhauled to improve the THD performance across the frequency range. And the Zero Red, they perform well to my ears. So first time listen, I was blown away by the bass. And they have plenty of bass. It's a dynamic and it's a fun sound. The Zero Red are mostly neutral until you include the 10 ohm adapter. Now, when you use it with an amp, like I said before, the sound can get a little darker. Just FYI, like I said before, using the adapter with an amp can be cumbersome. But, you know, sans the 10 ohm bass booster, the sound is still enjoyable. I prefer the option to choose between the fun sound and the neutral sound. So back to the frequencies on the Zero Red, the mid bass is more balanced and the sub bass is more extended. It's deep, it's textured, it's controlled bass. And I like that about Crinacle when he tunes his IEMs. He doesn't just load it up with this gobs of bass. He actually, you know, takes his time to really tune and get it right. Now, the mids on the Zero Red, they're warm, which makes them pleasing to listen to, and they maintain the timbre of the instruments. Female vocals are laid back and relaxing. So overall, the mids on the Zero Red are natural. Now, Crinacle is known to make his highs smooth and inoffensive. And, you know, these IEMs, they only cost $54. And when you market any audio product that low, you're mainly aiming not just for a minority, you're aiming for the majority of people. So you don't want to offend a bunch of people. You want to make this, so the reason he prices these so low is so they're accessible to more people. As opposed to a set that costs $1,000 that's for a select few people. So the treble sensitive people, they won't have any issues with fatigue. Overall, the treble, it isn't harsh or doesn't have any semblance that I can hear, but they're lacking in the sparkle and the airiness. And there's some micro details you're not going to hear when it comes to the treble on the Zero Red. The technicalities, like I said, $54, they're average. It performs slightly better than the Tangzu Wainer, but it's not as good as the Moondrop Aria sets. Soundstage is also average, which is par for the course. I mean, these are $54. You can't expect, you know, to be blown away. But what they do get right is the overall sound. It's very inoffensive, good extended sub bass. The imaging is good. I played Genshin Impact with the Zero and the Zero Red, and the sounds in the game were good. So to sum up, the sound quality of the Zero Red, they punch well above their weight. So I'm going to give the sound quality on the Zero Red, wait for it, 6 out of 5. Now, when comparing the Zero Red against the OG Zero, I'll have to say that this was a set that I originally just reviewed. Now, the bass response on both the OG Zero and the Zero Red are identical, but with the 10 ohm adapter and without. And I love any old IEM that makes Outcast and Nas sound good. Detail retrieval are also identical as well between these two. Where they differ is in the upper mids and the lower treble region. The Zero Reds are a little more detailed and smooth in the highs and warm sounding than the OG Zero. So here's a little sidebar. So I'm on Reddit frequently, but lately for the past 2 weeks, I've been kind of taking like a voluntary sabbatical from social media. No Instagram, no Facebook, no Twitter. Haven't really been on anything. I've just been focused on getting my paper. But one of the subreddits that I like to go on is headphones. In one post, it caught my eye. So some guy, he had the Audio Technica over ears. I forgot what they're called. I think they do initials and letters like the Sony Xperia earbuds. I think they were the AT850 or something like that. Somebody in the comments will probably correct me on what they're called. Anyway, he had a cousin who's a so-called audiophile and told him to get a amp to make them sound better. What app did his cousin recommend? A $250 Fio desktop. Suffice to say, it was overkill. As a matter of fact, the OP said it was overkill, and every damn comment said it was overkill. Why would you recommend a $250 desktop amp for, I don't know, what are the Audio Technicas going for? Like $100? That's just ridiculous. That's just crazy. If that was my cousin, I'd change all my locks and I'd tell his dad to cut them off. 200, that's just, oh my God. Like, you probably get, decent sound quality on something, on a DAC that's like 100. I mean, if you want something small, you can get the EFI Go, the Bluetooth DAC. I've been wanting to get my hands on that since last year, but it's not going anywhere below 150, but my time will come. Next up, I'm going to be comparing these against the Aria Snow. And yes, the VDSF tuned, highly popular Moondrop Aria Snow Edition. I love these. I absolutely love this set. I keep everything inside the package. I'm a real stickler for keeping everything organized. These are good. So when you compare the sound quality between the Snow Edition and the Zero Red, it's very similar, except the mid bass lacks the impact of the Zero Red. The detail retrieval on the Snow Edition is cleaner on the Aria Snow, but the Aria Snow are also an extra $25 more than the Zero Red. So you do with that information with however you want. And just heads up, I'm going to be doing my first ever Which Should You Buy IEM edition, and I will be featuring these against, well, you already know which IEMs I'm going to be featuring with these. So to wrap this video up, let's face it, the days are gone of buying a set of IEMs for thousands of dollars. If you're on a tight budget and you want a neutral sounding IEMs for $54, the Zero Reds are an easy recommendation. Just FYI, if you have gerbil ears, go ahead and click off the video because this set is not for you. And that's one of the reasons why I created my channel, is to help those that are not looking to spend an excessive amount of money on gear just to get the best audio experience. If that sounds like you, subscribe and click the bell icon. That way you'll be notified when I post new videos to my channel. This has been the review of the Truthear Crinacle Zero Red. Enjoy your life, enjoy your sound. I'll see you in the next video.